Don't know where it goes. I'm on a road. Follow your heart. It won't let you down. Follow your heart. Take the steps beyond your way. Take the steps. When you have a dream, you gotta start. It's the only way. If you're gonna shine, and you're gonna shine, shine, shine. You're gonna shine. They gave me sound effects. You really are shining on the ranch today. Now with sound effects. I love it. You can hear from my studio audience. That's funny. Welcome to the ranch. We are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, and we are spanning the globe to bring you the best in indie Americana music. And I'm really happy that you guys are joining us. This is an interactive show, so I know there's a couple people watching already, so we could see your comments. So you're welcome to join us if you have any questions. And we are going to Northwest Canada. Today we have our guest coming back, if she sits down. Caroline, what are you doing?
I was like, oh, my guitar is right behind me. Yeah, I just got a new guitar, so I was like, oh, it can't be behind me. That would be stupid.
She's back there redecorating.
Oh,
Oh my
sorry.
God.
Yeah, I just
Well,
had
welcome back to the ranch.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. That's so sweet.
Yeah, well, we had so much fun the first time around. We got to do it again, right?
Yeah, and I have a super farmy album coming out next spring, so I'm primed. All my content is all farm related.
I noticed that your new songs kind of have a theme.
Yeah, well, it's quite a situation I'm in here being a rancher's wife. So I got to play it up a little bit, right?
Well, why don't you tell the audience, remind everybody just how rural you are.
It's like torture. Reminding me, okay, I'm an extrovert and I'm a creative, so yeah, it's hard, but it's beautiful, and I do love living so rural. We are 30 miles north of the nearest grocery store, the nearest city, and I'm on the Alberta-Saskatchewan border, just on the north side of the river. So if you like zoomed out on the map, you can see we're on the Alberta side, north of the river, and yeah, we
What
have
river for us?
the river. It's the North Saskatchewan River.
Aha.
Yeah. So
I
it's
should have known that, I guess.
no, yeah, right. No, it's cool because the capital of Alberta is Edmonton, and it's about 3 hours west of us. And the river goes right through there. And I used to live there back when I was just a spring chicken. And it's so cool because we used to do the stairs at the river on the river valley, go up and down and try and get in shape when you're 21 and you'll never look that good again in your life. And now here I am 20 years later and I'm on the banks of the river, but I'm like 3 hours away. It's so cool.
Do you have any steps? No steps by the river.
Well, steps going up onto the deck at the house. Yeah. So yeah, we're super out there. We're far enough away that we don't get a lot of visitors. When people take the time to drive out and see me, it's a pretty big deal. And so yeah, I've tried to showcase our farm in the videos that I've made this spring and summer. Or yeah, I can't believe we're in November already. So I filmed all these, in the summertime, and I've just been editing them as I go through the fall, and it's been really fun and good to showcase the landscape because I have a lot of listeners down in the States, and I had one guy reach out to me and say, we really want to see your landscape more. Can you show us more of that? And I was like, oh, let me tick that box for you. And so yeah, I've been sending him my music videos as I finish them and getting good feedback from them. So yeah, it's really fun.
Great.
Yeah, and I got my 9-year-old and my 7-year-old were my cameramen for the one video. So like I do a lot with a tripod, right? But it's nice to have some movement. And so I had to like show Henry what I was going for, and then he did it, and it was just so great. I put him in the credits.
I see, and your kids are actually in some of the videos I've seen.
Well, how could they not be, right? Like, yeah, the one video is super fun. I had my daughter in the video with her sheep, and I'm following her around the lawn. But then, as I'm following her, she's going by my 7-year-old who's on the ground with a hammer or something. Who's
Oh,
doing
that is the hammer.
so. Yeah, sometimes it's on purpose, and other times it's like, well, there they are, and that's the way it is, right? And it's just that's not a normal thing, whenever I'm out in the yard doing stuff, there's always kids going this way or that way, and they're just living their best lives.
Right. And I
Yeah.
know you love shooting video, you actually do a lot of your own editing
Yeah.
in that, which I admire. I am just a terrible editor.
Well,
I
send
just
me
don't
your
have
stuff. Give me
patience.
your video footage and I'll put it together. It's just
Oh, I will take you up on that. I really
yeah.
will.
I literally film, and then as soon as I get back to the house and I'm on Wi-Fi, I just hit share to Google Drive folder, and I dump stuff in folders, and then, a month or two later, I'm like, okay, I think I have enough stuff, or I when I did working all the time video, that one took a while, and my husband wouldn't fake work. Like I said, well, can you just fake pounding one fence post? Like it'll literally take us 10 minutes. And he's like, no, you can wait until I'm going to build a fence and you can come with me. And so because of that, it took like 3 weeks to film all the shots that I wanted. Or sometimes he would go do something and I would be busy in the kitchen and I missed it. And then it's like, oh, I gotta wait till next time. And
Right.
so it was fun, but then I just made a working all the time folder on my Google Drive and I was like, I can do this. And it was great. When I went to put it all together, I just dumped everything into my video editing software, and I was like, wow, I got some great footage. Like I was just like ecstatic before I even started editing it. I was just like, this is gonna be great.
Right, right, right. And well, my niece just finished film school. So
Oh,
talk about getting family involved, and I'm sitting there and I'm kind of like, I have in my head what I want to happen. We're shooting a bar scene, and I'm saying, we're gonna do this and you're gonna make it look like this, and she just kind of looks at me and goes, I'm working for free, right? Like,
well, this is the thing. Nobody cares about your project as much as you. So
right.
like, I have skills, but I know where my limitations are. So it's okay to farm it out if you need to, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, cool.
That's so true. That's so true. So you have a new album coming out.
Yeah, I do. I was actually just talking to someone today about when is it coming out, but I have a couple singles I need to release, and one of them can't be released till January because it's called The Worst Part of the Year, and it's all about, well, can you imagine? Like, where are you from? You're like way down in the States somewhere, right?
Yeah, I'm in Pennsylvania.
Somewhere in the middle, I think.
The Middle East.
Right. Is it like kind of over, well, whatever.
I'm right on the border of New Jersey. Does that
Oh,
mean?
really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's a ways. Okay, never mind. That's super east.
That is, yeah, super east.
Okay, so I know some
Pittsburgh is
people
on
from.
the west. Pittsburgh. I'm in Easton, Bethlehem. So
Okay, okay. Well, I'm part of a songwriting circle in New Jersey, and so every once in a while I sign in, and they do it every other Thursday, and so every once in a while when I miss the accent, I'll sign in and listen to them critique my songs, and they're like they're not Canadian, right? And so sometimes they're like, well, I don't know why you would say it that way, but it's just cultural stuff, but. Anyhow, it gets really bloody cold here, so I'm trying to think in Fahrenheit and Celsius. It's pretty tough for my brain to process that, but I know -40 is the same at both, right? It
negative
is.
40 sounds really, really cold.
It
Um,
is. Well, it is
freezing for us is 0.
freezing for you guys is
No, it's
32.
32. It's 30. I'm sorry. It's 32. For you guys, it's 0. Oh my
So
God.
yeah, yeah, and so your -40 is our -40.
Is
That's
it?
where and then your 100 is our +40.
Wow, you're hurting my brain.
I know.
Okay.
So this picture, it gets to be -30 and -35 here on the regular for from New Year's Eve until like March 1st. For those 2 months, it's absolutely dreadful. And this is coming from the housewife. I don't even work outside, but my husband does. It's terrible. So anyhow, I also have this seasonal.
I would feel very isolated. I feel isolated during winter anyway because it's cold and even moving around, even though it's a couple miles, the store's just like a mile and a half away. I can't imagine you being 30, how far you are from stores and stuff,
Oh,
so
I'm
isolated.
I'm isolated. This is the thing. Like I feel like I was living the COVID lifestyle for 9 years before COVID happened. And so when COVID happened, I actually felt a bit of relief because I was like, I have been doing something hard. Look at everyone else whining and crying. And like I don't leave the farm unless I have to go shopping, or I don't really do outings. Going for coffee with a friend on a Tuesday doesn't really happen. So when people say, well, how do you accomplish so much musically, it's like, well, I don't dick around. When I go to town, I get enough groceries for at least 7 to 10 days. And it's just a different lifestyle for sure. But
Oh, it really is, and I'm a terrible shopper. Like I
I
hate
know
shopping, so I'm just
people go,
grabbing stuff and
they go
trying to.
grocery shopping every other day because they can't like be decisive and make a list and all this stuff. Like I don't my aunt actually, apparently she used to go shopping every day for what they're going to make for supper.
Very European, they do that.
Yeah. Well,
Bargain.
I'm all about efficiency, man. I've been cranking out an album every single year. I have 4 kids. Like, don't mess with my like I was almost late today. But it's because I was pulling a
Oh, it's
turkey.
not like you. I was ready to call. I'm like, Caroline's not late. Are you kidding me?
No, but I took a turkey out and I'm having turkey dinner for supper tonight. What a stupid plan, right? Anyhow, it's mostly cooked. It's the turkey's resting now. And yeah, if you wanna accomplish something, you just give it to someone who's busy because they always have a sliver of time where they can fit things in, right? And so anyhow, I'm a go-getter.
Well, winter is my time to write. Like my
Yeah.
shows are pretty much finished right now. I did a Halloween show, and it was so busy through summer to this time, and now I'm like, I'm going to write. I'm just going to write, 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 write. Like I'm going to hunker down and
Yeah.
pivot to that. So I get
I
it.
I really like seasonal stuff too. Like I often do writing and rewriting, and I don't know. I like to have stuff to edit in the winter.
Mm,
So yeah,
sense.
I have to have a goal in the winter, otherwise I lose it. Like I just it's like I need something to look forward to, right? So
No, I agree. I agree. And I think when you're isolated, you have to stick to routine. You
yeah,
know, you get up at a certain time. This is your routine, and that's how you're successful.
but it has to also be like you have to fill your days with meaningful stuff too, right? It can't just be all filler of nonsense stuff. Like we homeschool and I do dishes a lot and laundry, and you can do that, and it is part of the mundane. Actually, is a lot of a meditation, and that's where sometimes I wrote the best songs while I'm vacuuming, but but I really do like I've been well, it's a whole nother story, but I switched after 17 years being playing guitar. I switched to be left-handed guitar, so because I had this inkling that it would be better. And my friend was like, I guarantee you within 12 months you'll be at the same skill level. Because I told him I've been playing guitar for 17 years and I've always been not great at it.
Yeah. Okay.
And so yeah, he got me I bought like a crappy guitar and he switched it around for me. And he said it would take 2 months before I liked it and 12 months before I was at the same skill level. Well, I'll tell you, it took me 2 weeks before I knew I wasn't switching back. And I immediately started shopping for this beautiful guitar. And I was at my same skill level at 5 months. 5 months in. And so now
That's what's blowing my mind. You just randomly decide you're going to start playing lefty.
It wasn't random. It was like, it was coming because a year before that, I went to this lady for coaching and said, I can't play, shh, shh, don't tell anyone, but I don't know how to play rhythm guitar. All I can do is finger pick like a folkie. I don't know how to play rhythm. And now that I'm playing with band members, I'm an idiot because I can't rhythm guitar very well. And she's like, anybody can learn to rhythm guitar. She put me through all these different exercises and train your arm and all this stuff. And I improved. It was like 8 weeks. But you know what? The amount of time that I put in, it was like torture for one. Like, and they said, oh, you should try and do 30 to 60 minutes a day. And I was like, I can do 20 or 25, but I would be looking at my clock like 18 minutes, 19 minutes, 21 minutes. And it was just torture. And then at the end of it, I was like, okay, well, I can kind of rhythm guitar. It's okay. It's passable, right? As long as you turn my volume down. And then, so then I was playing rhythm guitar with this guy at a song circle, and I just stopped halfway through the song, and I said, I don't want to do this. I got a finger pick. I can't do rhythm. And he just looked at me like, what the hell is wrong with this girl? And I said, like, my arm doesn't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to spend the time doing it. I don't even care about guitar anymore. And he's like, you should probably quit. And I was like, quit? He's like, quit and go left-handed. Why are you rowing up the river the wrong way? He says. And I was like, huh. And then I thought back, like I didn't play guitar till I was 24. And I'm thinking, I think I walked into the store and said that I was left-handed. I was looking for a left-handed guitar. And they said, well, if you're going to be left-handed, they said, have you ever played? And I said, no. They said, well, if you're left-handed, that's the guitar you can buy. There's only one. If you want to choose, you can be right-handed. And so I was 24. I was like, okay, I'll buy a right-handed guitar. No big deal. But like all the sound comes from your rhythm arm. Like chords.
Yeah. You are a lefty. Wait, you are a lefty.
I am. Oh yeah.
Oh, all right.
And so I've been, yeah.
Okay.
Anybody can learn chording. The chords are the easy part. It really is the rhythm and the fingers and the hand. If you get a pick, like it's.
Yeah, and I'm the opposite of you. I can't finger pick. I am all rhythm.
Most people say that they can only rhythm guitar, and I think I had 6 months of lessons when I first started, and the lady taught me a couple folky finger picking things, and I just did that forever, and I never learned anything else. How depressing, right? And so now I'm playing left-handed, I'm finger picking, I'm rhythm guitar, and now I'm like, well, why not do some bluegrass picking? Bam. And so I'm like having the time of my life, and I can play guitar, and I can play in all these different styles now, and it's so fun.
I just don't understand. I had an aunt, and my little cousin was a lefty, and she would take his pen out of his left hand, smack his hand, and put it in his right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? It was so barbaric. This poor kid. She didn't want him to be a lefty.
Well, I think it's a claim to fame. Anytime I have problems like with traffic or police pulling me over or my kids yelling at me for something silly, I'll just be like, excuse me, I am left-handed. The world is built for you guys. So just think every key that you put in and turn, every lid that you go to open, everything I do backwards the first time. It's not an easy life. But I think what it is, I'm 42, and I think it's like in your late 30s, you stop caring what people think. And the more and more I think about it, I'm like, this was inevitable that I was going to be left-handed. It's too bad it took 17 years to figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
and I feel really, it is actually, I just wrote a lyric last night. It's an embarrassment, but it's also heaven sent.
All right, let's listen to Working All the Time. All right, that's the song. We had to wait for your husband to actually go out and do some work so you could film him doing it.
Yeah, you betcha.
He's working all the time. Yeah, I might lose my mind. Farming is a marathon. Working steady starts at dawn. We can't eat and sleep when we are dead. Daylight's waiting, fields need grazing. 100 days of growing season. It's a year's worth of work and then we'll break some bread. He's working all the time. Yeah, I might lose my mind. Grandpa's calling, things are falling apart, and now I'm gone to haul some bolts and grease and ball bearings to boot. My kids all need to take a bath. The lawn needs mowed, I'm feeling brash. With all these tasks, I just wanna relax. He's working all the time. Yeah, I might lose my mind. There's no date night, no time to fight till the dead of winter when it's always night. Then the farmer, well, he can have a chat. By then the thought of shelling out cash for a warm trip away from where we're at, it's the last thing that he'd want to do for my romance. He's working all the time. Yeah, I might lose my mind. He's working all the time. Yeah, I might lose my mind. He's working all the time. I might lose my mind.
I love my sound effects. That was playing. That's a good song. That's a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
I didn't know how it was going to come together, and I actually told my producer, I'm like, if you have a vision for this, we'll proceed. But if you don't, I don't know how it's going to work.
Now you do your own videos, but you actually do travel to get your songs produced and recorded.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, we co-produce it. So I'll send him what I have. He kind of digests it and says, well, what about this? And so we do a little bit of co-writing to polish them up. And so he probably has 5 to 10% of half of my songs. Like that's the songwriting credit that I give. And then we kind of collaborate to figure out what instruments go on what song. And then we schedule it, and hopefully my guitar player can make it. And last album, my guitar player or my fiddle player couldn't make it, so he found a different fiddle player, and it worked out really good.
And how far do you travel for that?
That would be 6.5 hours.
Only 6.5 hours.
It's no big deal. We do like all the work online. We do everything online, and then I'll travel and we'll do 3 days together. Or I think last one was 3.5 days. That was the longest. The other album was shorter. There were only 7 songs, and I think it was 2 days.
And they're ready. You're just going to do vocals and add the final touches.
Yeah.
Blow them all out in 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did that on the last album, and after the first day, I sang 3 songs, I think, like 10 times a piece, right?
Right. At
And
least.
then that night, I got on the phone with my girlfriend, and then I was like, I better let you go. And I could feel, I was like, I can't talk right now. I need to not talk at all till the next day. And thankfully, he wanted to do some editing so that he could see where if I needed any cut-ins on those 3 songs.
Right.
So we didn't start till like 11 a.m. So I was up early, went to the luthier to take my guitar in for a checkup, my other guitar. And And then I was doing like vocal warm-ups in the car on the way back to the studio, and then I got up and I think I sang from 11 till 4 and then 6 till 7, I think.
That's a lot
And
of
I
singing.
knocked 3 more songs the next day. I was shocked that I could pull that off. Like, yeah, I overdid it for sure.
That's a lot. You know, you haven't been in a studio, guys. You don't know what it's like to sing the same line. Like you'll sing it through, then you'll sing it through, and then he's gonna like focus on different lines and
Yeah, well, what I really like about
repeating.
what we've done, we've done lots of different things, but you know, singing the same verse over and over again, I think is the way to go rather than singing the whole song 6 times in a row. Like, I really like looping things because then you can really drill down on what are
Okay.
you trying to sing. And like, there's been times where I can't hear what I'm supposed to, like, yeah, it's my song, but then he has to get his guitar out and like play the melody notes and be like, "Can you do this?" And I'm like, "Yes, I can do that." But you know, sometimes I need well, I don't know what people think happens in a studio. It's not magic though. It's work, right? Like you're
Yeah.
yeah. Some days are they just feel easy, right? And then other days it's like, well, I remember one song I was talking about that Japanese art of kintsugi. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of it.
It's like
Don't
where
know about it.
you smash pottery and then you put it back together and put
You
gold.
mentioned that last time. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I wonder if I told the same thing. Isn't that funny? But he coached me on to say kintsugi to make it sound kin. I like. I think we turned it into a 4 syllable word and had 4 different notes, and it was the coolest experience in the studio because I didn't come up with that. He came up with that. He translated it. I picked up what he was putting down, and then we bam got this beautiful song, and it's very memorable for me.
Very cool. You know, very cool. You're doing a whole bunch of songs in a row, right? Each song has to have its own feeling, its own mood, and you do that line by line. Each line has to have its own feeling, and you might say one word louder than you said another word, and now you have to do both of them at the same volume with the same feeling, with the same.
Well, I remember doing one song that was really emotional, and that's when he said, "Instead of singing it top to bottom, let's loop it." And it was the best thing because I felt like emotionally, it was so tiring for me.
Mm. It can be really draining, emotional songs, because there are songs I know I've taken in the studio that I couldn't sing without crying. Like,
Yeah.
they're very heavy, and
Yeah,
some
I
are
mean, well,
fun and
the thing
light.
is you don't you can't you don't wanna fake it as a singer, right? You wanna feel what you're saying, and that comes across, and if you just sing the words, it's just not the same as, like, acting it out almost, right?
Right, you're acting it out vocally.
Yeah.
And if the producer doesn't believe it, no one else is going to believe it either.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this isn't an auto tune thing. Auto tune doesn't add emotions.
Right. No, no, I would get up to the mic. I have my papers, in case I need a reference or whatever. And I'm listening to the where you come in and I just close my eyes and I'm like literally getting in. It's like I'm putting on the coat of that song and I'm like I'm getting in that emotional space, right? And
Right.
when I'm there, I don't think there's anything more that I love than to be recording in the studio. But then when I'm songwriting, I'm like, oh, I love songwriting so much. I love creating. And then when I'm making music videos, I'm like, oh, I was made for this. So like, I'm just so lucky that I found this because there's so many parts of it that I really like and I really enjoy.
So your next song from the album, "The Harvest is Long."
Yeah.
So again, there's a theme with your songs here. Just literally about life on the ranch. Really.
Yeah.
Um, and the harvest is long. Tell us about that. How did that come about?
Well, as you can imagine, harvest goes on forever. And so it was the fall of 2024, and my husband was out harvesting, doing this and that. So he was like away from the house for days and weeks on end, really. and I have to deliver food to him. And sometimes I bring a child or two with me, and they just say hi, and that's all they get to see their dad, right? And so I think we went back. We had just dropped off a meal, and I came back into the house, and we were homeschooling. So I was like, "Hey, everyone, pull out your books." And then I was like, "You know what? We should all write a song about harvest." And so we kind of took the afternoon off at that point, and this is the song I came up with. And my daughter, she wrote a song called "The Long Harvest," and it's just a fiddle instrumental that she wrote. And then my other daughter pretended to write a song but didn't, and so this is what we came up with.
All right, let's listen to "The Harvest is Long."
All right.
Harvest is long. It's a long, long harvest. Plugging along, just getting her done. Your acre counts off, but you just keep driving. Harvest is long, and I'm away from you. The weeks sure can fly, and I watch you drive on by, delivering meals to you in the fields. But when things turn white, you'll be home, and I'll ask for a dance, and we'll bring our kids to the fall supper meal. Winter ain't my favorite, but I love having you around. Spring, summer, fall is busy while you're tending to the ground. The kids and I, we get by, but it just ain't the same. We love you, Dad, we miss you. Now teach us a new game. Harvest is long. It's a long, long harvest. Plugging along, just getting her done. Your acre counts off, but you just keep driving. Harvest is long, and I'm away from you. Harvest is long, and I'm away from you.
And we are Branch. We are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your one-stop for all indie music. If you like new music, all styles, you can go to Blast Music 24/7. And if you're an indie artist, you want your music up on Blast Music 24/7 because they really take care. There's curated playlists. They pay their artists. They're really good to their artists. Also, we love our listeners, our radio stations, the Plow Zone in California and My Indie Radio. My Indie Radio is expanding too. So they're just partnered with some people. So congratulations to my friends in Paris and Europe. And also Hotel Universe. Great. I know Caroline does her own videos, but Hotel Universe could also help you out with all your video needs. And you could tell them Randie sent you, and they're going to give you a really good deal. So to the max advertising, if you need banners and things like that. So we're all things indie here. We're all supporting each other. And we have our Canadian friends on the ranch tonight. And that was a great slice of Americana right there.
Okay, well, one thing I forgot to mention before the song was that I actually invited Molly Mason to do backup guitar and what did she do? Upright bass and harmony vocals on that tune. And so I've been watching her and her husband. They go live on Facebook every Wednesday since COVID started. And so they have the Ashokan Center in upstate New York. And it's like a nature conservatory where they do music appreciation too. And they host all sorts of music camps and stuff. And so I've been watching them live on Wednesday nights for years. Like they just surpassed their, I don't know, episode 250 or I don't know. They're crazy, but they put on a good show, 90 minutes or more every Wednesday. And I just found Molly to be so thoughtful and the different backing chords that she chooses. So I sent her a message, and I was so pleased that she was able to join me on that song. And when she sent her files to my producer, she included a fiddle track from her husband, Jay Unger. So that was really a nice surprise.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really
Merry
awesome.
Christmas.
Yeah, have you heard of them?
I've heard of them.
Yeah, they're like what I would call like folk royalty.
Yeah, I hang around with folkies a lot in New Jersey, the Folk Project.
Oh
In
yeah,
fact,
yeah.
I just played with them on Friday. They're a lot of fun, folkies.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they are. They're so great. And
Yeah.
what I like about it is it's just real music, right? Like I really like the acoustic stuff. So and
Right.
they when they do their show, they're like literally in their living room and they have like a quilt on the wall that says the quiet room and then it says what the date is. They put it on a little recipe card. So they change the card every week. And they're just two people making music, It's so wonderful.
Oh, that is wonderful. I used to do it all through COVID. I would do every Thursday night. I would do a little something. I'd jump on, and then I moved to Pennsylvania, and I really have gotten away from it. But it was so fun, people checking in and talking. Like, this is interactive too.
Mhm.
But everyone's quiet tonight. What's going on out there? I know there's people watching, but no one's commenting.
You know what? Mondays are a tough slug, I think, because people are just getting into the swing of things and they're just still feeling like, well, their weekend wasn't long enough.
The weekend wasn't long enough. It was a fun weekend. We had our Halloween. I feel bad for your kids. No trick-or-treating.
No, yeah, we don't. We've never done that. I told my
Oh,
husband, if you want to do that, you do that. Go for it. But I ain't doing it. And he wanted me to sew costumes. And I was like, yeah, I don't have enough going on, right?
yeah.
No, I've never been interested in that at all. So
Oh, it's my favorite holiday.
yeah. My BFF actually, her birthday's the 28th, and so they always have a big costume party. Yeah, but I've never done that.
Yeah.
I did dress up as Alice in Wonderland once when we had to dress up at work. I had
Right.
the most beautiful 70s dress that was like baby blue, and I put on a black headband. It was awesome.
See? It is
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
So, gotta do it every now and then.
yeah, for sure.
Kind of let. So your kids are homeschooled. How far would it be if they did go to school? I mean, it's got to be a hike.
Well, it's not the distance because I could drive them. It would be a 30-minute drive each way,
What? Yeah.
which I actually did to a private school the first few years, and then I got tired of that. But for them to be on the bus to go to public school, there is a bus that runs here. It would be an hour and 40-minute bus ride.
That's what I mean. The bus, the drive for the
Yeah,
bus. Because they have a
and-
bus route and the whole thing, and where you are on that route. I mean, you're
yeah.
getting up at like 4 or 5 in the morning just to catch the bus.
Well, they said they'd be on at 7. and then they'd start school at 8:40, and I just thought we could probably be done school in the amount of time they would be on the bus. So,
Yeah.
and then I can have them home, and we have a lot of fun together. And
Yeah.
they're all musical, and so sometimes when I feel like we need a break, I'll either say it's a break, or I'll be like, "Okay, everybody grab an instrument, let's go play." And so we're kind of getting into that phase, and it's really, really enjoyable.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to be your backup band soon.
Yeah, well, actually, my daughter, she is. Well, I need to log time on my guitar, right? Because I'm trying to reestablish my muscle memory and everything. So I would just pick up my guitar and start playing, and she'd walk up with her fiddle, and I'll be like, "Yeah, key of D or key of G or whatever," and
Yay.
she's at the place where she can start to find things to do on the fiddle, and so yeah, she's 12, so it's a pretty pivotal time for her, and her skill level can just go like that at that age, right?
Right.
So it's pretty neat. She did play along with me on a couple original tunes, and I
Yeah.
just thought,
Your brain is having a spurt of white matter right now. And
yeah,
you start pruning. This is my psychology self hat going on right now. And
okay,
in the pathways you strengthen over the next couple years are the pathways that you're going to take into adulthood. So if you're doing a creative things, you're going to strengthen those creative pathways. If you do a lot of reading, you strengthen those pathways, you know. So what they do now in those early teen years, 12 to like 18,
yeah,
are really, really important for brain development and adapting your adult brain.
interesting. Well, she reads a lot. I was actually thinking about it. I think she's read more novels than I have.
Wow.
Yeah, she goes through like an inch in like 2 days, an inch like a book that thick.
Right, right, right.
It's crazy. Yeah. She's a very good reader.
You know, growing up, my parents, I grew up with alcoholic parents, but the one thing my mom did a lot of is she let us read. And yeah, I read The Godfather and Jaws and Stephen King.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, she's really into
They
like
let me read, so, you know.
I put on the movie Jaws like 6 months ago, and we turned it off within like less than 10 minutes. My kids were like, "I can't, mom."
Everyone was scared to go in the water. People weren't even taking baths after you watched Jaws. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Try
Well,
reading the book.
I didn't remember the opening scene is like an arm with like maggots or something on it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, maybe this is a little much.
It's intense. And I was reading it, and I would think I was in 8th grade or something like that. I was like, so
Yeah.
inappropriate. I think I'd be sent for an evaluation if I did it today. But
Yeah, that's funny.
I wouldn't make it. I'd have to evaluate myself for like tendencies, all the books I was reading. But she didn't let me read, so I have those strong pathways. So
Cool. That's awesome. I listen to lots of music.
right, right. This is interesting. What music do you like? It was probably music you liked as a teenager because you trained your brain what was good music and the pathway stuck. A lot of people our age still listen to stuff we listened to as a teenager. As
Yeah,
good.
you're really impressionable there. So now I'll replay some, like I used to listen to a little bit of like skater music. Depending on the month or whatever, the year. And now I'll go back and like listen to the songwriting that's in that, like, because it was all about the sound back then. It wasn't for me, it wasn't really the content. I think the content, a lot of it went over my head because I was pretty naive. Um, but now I'll kind of revisit it, and I'm like, whoa, I did not understand what that meant. Um,
Right.
but there was some rough music, and then a lot of the times in these rough albums, they'll have one or two acoustic songs, and those were always the ones that I really appreciated. And now looking back, I can see it all was rooted in folk, like and living on the land, and yeah,
Yep. And
it's
that's what you trained your brain, and you brought that into adulthood, and you're just recreating it.
here we are. Yeah. Yeah.
Live your teen years wisely, people. Because it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Okay, that's speaking of that, that's your next song. That's Living. Tell us
Oh
about
yeah.
that one.
Yeah, so my girlfriend came to visit. I had actually fandangled her son to get a job with my brother-in-law, and I thought then she can visit me more. And so her son moved in to this house that's like, I don't know, a third of a mile from our house. And so she would come to be the grandma. That didn't last more than a year, unfortunately. But so she walked up the driveway with her two grandchildren that are twins. They're 5-year-old twins. And they came and they had a breakfast. And then we visited and we took them outside and we walked through the yard. And I was just amazed watching them react to what I would consider to be normal life. And they were like, ooh, ah, right? Like really like amazed by what I'm doing. I'm like, well, we're out of water in the corral system. So these, Ford animals, they don't have water. So I need to reverse pump from the house well into this other well so that the poor donkey and whatever they can eat. And so, or drink. And so like we had I just, was showing how I was being creative, I guess. And then when they were leaving, they were about halfway down the driveway and I went out on the deck and I said, "Hey." And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Make sure you make lots of noise when you get to the bottom of the driveway." And she's like, she's walking with the kids and she's looking at me like, "What does that mean?" And I'm like, "Just make lots of noise." Because at the bottom of the driveway is a big cornfield, right? Full of bears all the time. But you never know if the bears are there. And so, like, there's bears everywhere where I live. And so, if there's a cornfield, you just make noise when you're walking by, right? So that you don't startle anybody. And I don't think she knew what I meant. I just said, "Just talk loud." And then I just went in the house, right? And so she kept walking. And then that night, I thought, well, I guess I just wrote a song about that, just everyday life, right? And one time I was sitting on the garden bench with my other friend who was visiting from the city. She drove 3 hours and came for an overnight. We sat on the garden bench and I couldn't hear anything. It was so quiet. Like we were actually stopped breathing and we're trying to listen and hear, and we couldn't hear anything. And then, an hour later, we could hear the coyotes, and it sounded like there was like 30 of them, but it's like 4 pups. But when they start yapping, it is like it's amazing how many it sounds like. But anyhow, so I wrote the song, and it's just about those little moments that are just very normal for us, but for people that aren't from the country, they would just be amazed by it, right? And
Hey, different lifestyle.
yeah, absolutely. And I had the whole album was submitted to my producer. I'll show you the album cover.
Oh,
But it was
cool.
all submitted, and I said, "I have one more toe tapper coming. So just give me 3 more days and I need to finish some lyrics." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, whatever, that's fine." And it turned out to be one of the best songs on the album. So
Always the last one. All right, let's listen.
okay.
Soon I hear a pack of coyotes, bears on the prowl, and they're running through the corn. Geese overhead and they're honking those horns. My head hits the pillow and I'm gone until the morn. Sun's rising soon and the fields are full of fog. Coffee's in the pot, now the fog is burning off. Then the water's flowing and I'm filling up the trough. I'm glad I'm in the country, yeah, I'm living close to God. call. We're every skill and trade, yeah, you know we do it all. Maintain all of our junk and Jimmy rig it if we can. We never buy it new, now we got a better plan. The food is piping hot, so we gather all around. Receive it with our thanks, it's coming from our ground. Yeah, we're always eating good and taking care of all the land. Helping one another while we're building future plans.
And we are back. Ranch, we are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your one-stop for all indie music. And if you'd like to be on the ranch, you can just go to my website. You have to spell my name right, Randie with an IEONEIL.com/shows. And you too could be on the ranch listening to great songs from everywhere. And today we're up in Canada with Caroline Parke. What a fun song.
Yeah, I haven't watched that video in a long time, and I thought, oh, I guess I should tell you. I didn't really know what I was doing when I was planning that song. I didn't have a clear vision for it, and so I filmed. What happened is that I filmed some landscape, and then I filmed some portrait. And when I was doing the stuff with my daughters,
that
singing
makes
in the
sense.
spoon, I was just trying it out. I wasn't certain that's what we were going to do. And then when I went to edit it, I'm like, oh, me and my daughter Shirley are singing and into a wooden spoon, and we're being very silly. Like, I really was not taking myself very seriously there, as you can see. But it turned out to be really great, and like I didn't know how to blend, and then I had other stuff that I had done landscape, and so it was cool to do the double image, right? I
Right.
think it worked really good with the vibe of the song too. So
Right. I could see why you would do that. Still
yeah,
used a great footage and you just doubled
but
it
I
out.
didn't
Great
plan
idea.
it. I just was like, oh, oops, now what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
when is this album coming out?
well, I'm thinking April. Yeah,
Okay.
right before planting season. So I get really busy by March 10th. So I thought if I can, you know, put it out in April and have a bunch of fun with it during that month, that'll be great.
Yeah.
And I
Are
got
you
other
gonna
stuff.
release which single are you gonna release first?
Well, I've already released these three, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna release The Worst Part of the Year in January, and then in April, I'm gonna release Melancholy Heart, which is what I'm
Oh,
editing right now, and I'm so loving it. And so I'll release Melancholy Heart and then the whole album, I think, in the month of April. But it's because February and March, I actually have a songwriter series coming out where I interview a series, I have eight or nine episodes that I'm releasing. It'll be on the Tell Us Story Hive YouTube channel. And
okay.
so I'm going to be busy promoting that a little bit and just interviewing local, like, well, there are a series of people from Alberta and Saskatchewan, so that came to be on the show. And so I thought I'll be busy February and March, and April sounds good, and then May is when the farm ramps up. So
Okay, so we have a few seconds left. Where can people find your music?
well, YouTube is my number one place, but I am on all streaming services. But if they really want to get to know me, YouTube is the place, because I have so many videos, and I have home stuff there, and then my official releases, it's all there. And then I have my website is carolineparkmusic.com.
All right, great. Caroline, thank you so much for taking time out from your busy day. I know how hard it is to track you down. So great. And we look forward to that album coming out next year. They're going to drop the whole thing.
Yeah.
And again, when you got new music down the road, come back to the ranch.
Yeah, you bet. I sure will. Thanks so much for having me again.
Okay, and we are here every Monday, 7 Eastern time. You could join us and be interactive. People are watching tonight, but not joining in. But I'm glad to have you watching in the Plow Zone out in California, our listeners out in My Indie Radio, out in Paris, and all streaming platforms. There's about 25 streaming platforms you could find us. So we will see you next week on the ranch.
I'm on the road, don't know where it goes. I'm on the road, follow your heart, it won't let you down. Follow your heart, take the steps, be on your way. Take the steps, when you have a dream, you gotta start, it's the only way. If you're gonna shine